From Langport in Somerset, the number 15 seed, Wheelie Big Cheese.
Oh, Drew, yeah, baby. That weapon can throw 800 kilos into the air. The wheels have gold shoe spikes. So, 4... Watch out for this.
Hello, I'm Roger, that's Paul, and that's John. This is our robot, Wheelie Big Cheese, the toughest robot on the block. All built out of titanium. It's virtually indestructible. Since the last heats, we've improved its handling somewhat by taking out the delay in the controls, and we've now got the GT version, ready to take on anything.
Roboteers, stand by.
Taking on Tornado with Andrew Marchant at the controls there in the middle, David Gamble on the right, Brian Moss on the left, and Wheelie Big Cheese, Roger Plant, an engineer, with the beard at the controls on the right-hand side, Paul Opton and John McGugan with him.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Wheelie Big Cheese had the left-hand drive damaged earlier on in the series. See if it has any effect here. Tornado, very underrated. Many people thought that they would beat the Clusterbot Gemini twins in their heat, but they did. Dancing away from Wheelie Big Cheese. Classic wedge shape, and look at that power I was telling you about of the mighty throwing device. Up goes Tornado, 3 feet off the arena floor and slamming back down. Again, leaving themselves vulnerable to attack. And you can see the power of the weapon actually turns Wheelie Big Cheese up and over. Tornado doesn't have a classic Stream-X self-running mechanism. It can run both ways up. There's the cheese again. But at the moment, it's certainly not a spree for the Brie. But you can cam and bet that Roger Plant will be driving his machine run on until the end, but they've sustained damage in that CPZ. Look at that! The wheel is buckled and bent, and now it's Tornado's turn to drive on. That is a decisive moment. Wheelie Big Cheese got sucked into the CPZ, the corner patrol zone, and that was when the damage was sustained. Look at that wheel. No mobility left now for Wheelie Big Cheese. Tornado knows if they can stay out of arm's reach of the flipper, they have a real chance here. They can push and shove. No, don't get onto that flipper. Tornado with Andrew Marchant, an electro-acoustic engineer at the controls. Roger Plant there, you saw him at the Wheelie Big Cheese controls. Tornado smoking somewhat. They're okay, though. Spinning away, so they're still mobile. A little bit of smoke coming up there, perhaps. Turning away, Tornado. Wheelie Big Cheese, maybe just trying to hang on and go for a judge's decision, and that's what is all that's left for them, because it goes to the judges, Craig.
Well, very close, very tight. I wouldn't like to call it. It's down to our judges.
Well, they'll be judging on style, control, damage and aggression. Wheelie Big Cheese, obviously aggressive early on. But in that CPZ there, tussling with Matilda, that was when the damage was sustained, and I wonder if that is the decisive moment in this battle. Very close. Tornado driving on, the more aggressive towards the end.
Well, guys, decision time. The judges have made the decision. They've been looking at style, control, damage and aggression. And the wheels have come off the cheese. Has challenged. They've gone for Tornado! It was a really close one.
Yes. Well done.
It was a really close one.
Yeah.
Your wheel came off a lot earlier. You were
Yeah.
damaged a lot earlier. You suffered a little bit more damage than Tornado. They were quite tenacious. That's what the judges have said.
Yeah.
Do you agree with all that?
No.
Do you think you'd swung it? Do you think you'd sneak the decision?
I wouldn't like to call it, like the last one. Can't do it, no.
You've got a very powerful flipper. You flipped them up, you flipped them. I thought you were going to do it. And then you lost your wheel against the barrier.
Yeah.
In a little skirmish with Matilda as well.
Yeah.
And it was all downhill from there.
Yeah.
You've got much further than you've ever done before.
Yeah.
You're going to come back and see us again, aren't you?
We've got enough robot left to bring it back next year.
Ladies and gentlemen, big them up. Wheelie Big Cheese. Yes! A few more fights and you could be lifting a title, couldn't you?
We're glad to have won that one. That was very difficult.
You've got a lot of damage there, though. I think there was an internal fire inside that robot.
I think we've burnt a motor out, but we'll have a go at repairing it. We'll see what we can do.
Can you repair it in time?
We hope so.
Can't
say.
Fingers crossed. Ladies and gentlemen, big it up, Tornado! Whoa. Well done, lads.
Roger and team. What happened to that wheel of yours?
The weld broke.
How'd you get around something like that?
We'll have to learn how to weld titanium a little bit better than we're doing at the moment. It's very difficult material to weld.
And not a lot of people do it, do they?
Very few people at all, so we're doing all right.
So if anyone knows how to do that and could help Roger, perhaps they could contact him. Otherwise you're going to be doing a lot of travelling before the next wars, aren't you?
Now I'll find out how to do that in my little workshop at home down in Somerset.
All right.
We can weld most things in Somerset.
Excellent news. The Tornado team, fantastic against Wheelie Big Cheese. You did a splendid job.
Wasn't it?
It was. Now, what's happening here? What's Steg 2 doing on your bench?
We've had a motor burnout, and Steg 2 very graciously donated one of their motors, which is wonderful of them, so we're going to be able to compete in the next battle.
Yeah, it's not all war, is it?
Steg 2.
Well done, guys. And are you going to be ready?
We hope so. Fingers crossed.
We haven't got long. I'll leave them to it.
Cheers.
Generosity of spirit in the pits as ever. I hate them. Wheelie Big Cheese are out. Tornado go through. Thermidor 2 and Pussycat next up.
Pussycat have made it through. They've got 9 lives left. They did very, very well in the heats. Now, this works according to Newton's second law, apparently, which is what?
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
And how does that apply to the robot?
What that means for Pussycat is that when the wheel turns to drive Pussycat forwards, the robot tries to turn in the opposite direction. And that's how when we're lying down, we can flip ourselves back up.
It's very impressive. And this here is the self-confessed best driver on Robot Wars. You did well so far. Let's meet the opposition. The blade on top of your opposition travels at just 3,000 RPM. That's quite fast. These look pretty tasty. What are they made of?
It's a sponge, and the wheels are from a mini Metro.
Ah, OK.
Nice and grippy.
Where'd you get those from, then? Did you nick them?
No, they were given to us.
And we've talked about these pincers before. We think they're just for show.
They are really just for show, yeah. So.
Not very impressive. So what's the key strength of your robot?
The key strength is the Phillipa. It can lift about a ton, which is about a Land Rover.
That'll do, won't it?
Yeah.
That'll do if the driving is good enough. Powered by 2 Bosch 750s. How did you win the heat?
I think it was pure luck.
I think they're going to need it.
From Gloucester, seed number 19, Pussycat.
This team is in its 4th wars. Robin Herrick, the captain, now joining up after missing the heats. The circular blade could mean the cat splitter here will be made up of opposition metal and machinery.
Hi, we're Team Cold Fusion. Today we're joined by Robin Herrick, our team captain. These are the guys we've taken out so far. We've taken out Razor, Reptilitron, Milliambug and Robo Chicken. We're fighting Thermidor next. It'll make a nice change to have lobster.
From Norwich, Thermidor 2.
No hidden claws in the small print here. They're out in the open and powered by 2 750-watt industrial electric motors. An aluminium shell too strong for Seed's Dreadnought in the heat. They caught a crab.
Hi, we're Team Lobster and this is our robot Thermidor 2. My name's David, this is Eli, this is Ian. It's got a top speed of 15 miles an hour. Our main weapon is our Phillipa. We've also got these powerful claws. Since the heat, we've had to strengthen this bracket, as you remember, they sort of either snapped off. Hopefully that won't happen again.
Stand by.
There's Pussycat, now with the team captain, Robin Herrick, there in the middle. Young David Gribble, the driver, and Thermidor 2. David Harding on the right, Ian Harvey at the controls, Eli Kirkpatrick's 12.
2, 1, activate.
Tested Thermidor 2 in the kitchen at home. Pussycat, we've seen beat Razor. Pussycat, though, at the moment, flipped over by Thermidor 2 once and twice. It's not just the claws here, it is that front flipper on Thermidor 2, and look at the damage sustained there for Pussycat, coming down and again just tossed up in the air here like a cat on a hot tin roof. Pussycat comes down. All that business about Newton's law, I thought it was when an apple fell out of a tree. This is Pussycat falling out of the air onto the arena floor. There's the Refbot coming in for a little glance. You may have noticed around the necks of the Pussycat boys pieces of rubber strung. Trophies of war, pieces of Razor, collected, strung up, put round their necks as a grisly reminder of previous success. But at this moment in time, I'd say Thermidor 2 just about on top against Robin Herrick's team. Is it now time for Pussycat to come back, trying to sever the claws there with that circular blade? damage here, slicing in to the very head of the lobster. A great gash appears, dented down the spine as well. And a worry for the Thermidor 2 boys. David Harding, an electronic engineer, Ian Harvey, an automatic inserter. Young Eli's at Heartsea School. Come from Norwich. The Pussycat boys from Gloucester, trying to chase them home, though. Pussycat again with a circular blade. Outermost. Powered by electronic motors. Ooh, and they came back strongly. This will go to the judges. And I wonder whether the damage sustained by Thermidor 2 at the end will prove too costly.